Good morning. How are you today? Happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend and a lovely Valentine's. I just have the best neighbor ever. She's so sweet because she knows, I'm here with Barney. I don't have a significant other. So she brought me homemade chocolate chip cookies warm out of the oven. And let me show you. So cute. I have to share. Isn't that sweet? I'm telling you, it's the thoughtfulness and the kindness of your neighbors and the people that care about you and love you and support you. So how are you all feeling today? Are you ready for this workout? I hope so. I am doing mostly board today. I do have my short bands attached to the front. So I'm gonna launch in with some basic exercises to get you warmed up, and then we'll go right into the workout. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Pat. Hi, Ildy. I know, aren't they so sweet? Rebecca is just, how blessed am I? I can't, it's just so thoughtful. Anyway, I hope you're all feeling great, that you got sufficient amount of sleep, that you're hydrating. It's again, hi Molly Ann, it is so cold here. I don't even know what to say. Like, I have lived here 7 years. I don't think I've ever experienced below 0 temps. So it's been challenging to get Barney out there. He doesn't want to have anything to do with it. I don't blame him. It literally froze my face this morning. So I might have to take a little extra time to warm up these cold bones and these cold muscles, okay? So I'm gonna turn on some music and we're just gonna get started. So I want you to have your chair always handy in the back, because as you know, if you're ever struggling, you can always just take a seat and, just march it out, or, do some waist twists or some side reaches, just keep moving. But, the chair is here if you need it. And also, whenever you need to get a drink of water, please go ahead and do that, okay? So we're gonna start with those nice hip circles to start waking up those hip flexors. And now you can stay here, or you can lift and circle, lift and circle. So you are keeping that standing leg slightly bent. You're keeping the board center and you're relaxing those shoulders. Circle and down. And we're going to do 2 more on this side. And then we're going to switch. So first, just start on the floor. And if that feels good, just keep your foot on the floor. Otherwise, I am going to lift. I just find that I can get a bigger rotation if I lift my foot off the ground. And use your breath here. Don't hold your breath. Relax that grip. Relax those shoulders. 3 more times. And last one here. Okay, now we're gonna go right into those calf raises. So lift all the way up and then drop those heels down. Warming up those calf muscles is critical. We're always talking about those pressure points in our feet. We want that ankle stability. This board is so great because it really just forces like the multitude of muscles to be firing from the head to the toes. And we're really accessing that neurological connection with the board. I read somewhere, this is so funny, but that the 60 up, or working with balance especially, can make you smarter. Who doesn't need that? because we're working those proprioceptors. We're having to stay super mindful. That inner focus is critical when we're working with our balance and our agility. So that's just one more benefit to add to the list of benefits that you get from doing these classes with the 60 up. Okay, we're gonna do 2 more, and then we're gonna hold this one at the top, and we're just gonna do tight little presses up, up. You're gonna feel this in your calf muscles. Mine are already burning, it's crazy. And then you're gonna hold it at the top, release it down, and then you're just gonna start stepping it out. Now, if you don't wanna march, you can stay with the heel press. Otherwise, just do a nice little march here. Come down soft into the floor. There's no pounding involved here. And also a question I have is, I wanna make sure that you have the proper tennis shoes on. Are you getting the proper support? You know, that is really important. It's taken me a long time, you know, because I have super high arches. I have tarsal tunnel in both feet. I have neuromas. So I have to have a really wide toe box, and I have to have extra support. So I'm just curious about that. I don't want you to be skimping on your tennis shoe support, okay? And now what we're gonna do is place both heels down, and we're just gonna go into that toe tap. We're gonna go behind the 1 and the 1. Now I do want you to point your toe here and place. So we're just starting to work that neurological brain connection, your proprioceptors, placing your foot. And then if you'd like to lift your knee, you can, to really engage the hip flexors. You don't have to if you don't want to. This is just a warm up here, getting you comfortable with the board. Do I have any newcomers in the class today? I'd love to hear from you. And if I do have newcomers, please go at your own pace. Just do what feels comfortable for you. Take as many breaks as you need. Drink as much water as you need. And again, that's why I have the chair handy, okay? And now what we're gonna do is place it behind the 2 and the 2. Touch, touch. I like to lift my knee a little bit just because my hip flexors are so darn tight. I don't even know what's going on. I'm doing extra stretching every single day. I really do believe it's because of these extra cold temps, you know? Yikes. That'll get your blood pumping in the morning, taking this little guy out for a walk. You should see me. You should see. I gotta take a picture one time of how I look when I go out into the frigid temps. Okay, we're gonna do 1 more on each side here. And now we're gonna go into the 3 and 3. So now with this wider step up, you are gonna bring the inner thighs into play. You're gonna still try your best to keep that board center, and you aren't holding your breath here. You gotta focus on your breathing. I gotta work off that giant chocolate chip cookie that Rebecca brought me. I'm telling you, warm right out of the oven. My mom was a big baker. Living in Wisconsin with 8 kids, she baked 24/7, and I ate 24/7. Cookies out of the oven, every kind of gooey, ooey, chewy, dessert bar, cakes, pies, you name it. Oh my goodness. 1 more on each side. And now just march it out. So I developed a real problem with sweets, and I actually developed a real compulsive overeating problem, and I gained, out of high school, I gained 40 pounds, and that escalated to 65 pounds. I didn't have any control over my impulses. So I actually joined Weight Watchers to educate me on how to eat right and portion control. And I lost 12 pounds that first week, and that was so encouraging. And then I got back into fitness and slowly started losing the weight. And you know, my muscles had a memory from being active in high school. But it took a while to overcome that addiction to sugar that I had. So, you know, I've been there, and it's no fun. It's like that vicious cycle. So it feels really good now to have achieved my ideal weight and to be able to maintain that. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna stabilize again, and we're gonna do the crossover step with a heel touch. So I'm gonna place behind the 1 and the 1. So you're keeping those knees soft. I should post my before picture. Would you like to see that if you haven't seen it? Beachbody always put it in every single one of my infomercials because I guess that was a selling point for my Slim in 6 program. You know, the fact that I had been overweight and I conquered it, and then was afforded that opportunity to develop my program, Slim in 6 with Beachbody. But it was really embarrassing, you know, to have that picture, national TV, you know. But if it could help people, then I was all for it, right? Okay, now we're gonna place behind the 2 and 2. Keep those knees soft, relax those shoulders. And by the way, you can slow this way down if you need to. Just place. And again, if you want to lift that knee to activate the hip flexors more, go for it. One more each side. Now we're going to go to the 3. Place. Place. Now this is a little trickier. It's a bigger step. Keep that board center. Use your breath. I like this because now I'm really warming up those inner thighs. How are you feeling? Are you starting to get warmed up? I hope so. One more each side. Good, now we're gonna march it out again. You could take your hands off. Now I want you to start pumping those arms. You can make a fist, use your breath, or you could just step it out. If you have a problem with your gait, if you have drop foot, you know, remember, we're listening to our own bodies. I'm just giving you a guideline, you know, a framework to, you know, get familiar with the board, start working on that balance and agility, start building joint support, joint stability. This is your journey, right? Dan is always so inspirational with his classes. You know, he's such a big heart, and so does Kathy. I think we all just are super passionate about helping people, you know, lead a better quality of life. You know, that's what it's really all about. Just our daily activities, performing those better and having more confidence, you know, that we're not going to stumble and fall, that we have a strong foundation. Okay, now we're going to stabilize again, and we're going to go into that V step. So you're going to step wide, wide, down, and down. Let the board drop, drop, down, down. Now again, take your time. Think about that foot placement. Place, drop, And when you're feeling confident, you can always speed it up if you want to, but you don't have to. But if you do speed it up, that doesn't mean that you should grip those poles. Look, my hands are on top, but I'm not really gripping them. So they're there should I need them. You know, if I feel a little wobbly, I'm not feeling that stable, we know that they're there. And we're gonna do 4 more of these. And last time here, and we're gonna stay up and we're gonna rock side to side. Look how soft my knees are. So we're really just shifting back and forth. And now, are you ready for that first center balance? Okay, we're gonna stabilize. You know what that means, right? Tuck that pelvis under, engage your core, focus on your breath, drop those shoulders, chin retracted inward, and think about those pressure points in your feet. Are you able to maintain that center? I'm doing pretty good with this first one. I'm going to bend my knees just a little bit more. And then I'm going to go back side to side and I'm going to tap the calf. I love to do this to just release the legs. It's a nice little break. For 4 and 3 and 2. Last one here. Good. Now we're going to go behind the 2 and the 2. Again, rock side to side. You can always start slow like this. And I want you to think again about pushing that weight into the foot. You see the difference is if you just go like this back and forth, as opposed to thinking about those pressure points in your feet. Does any of you have like an issue with your ankles? I'd like to know. This is really going to help. I mean, the board helps prevent so many injuries, not just with the ankles and the feet, but with the knees and the low back and the hips. Press, press. Now, when you're ready, let's find that center balance. Let's do it. I always like to tuck that pelvis under. Pick a focal point. My focal point is you. Okay, I'm struggling a little bit more with this one, but I'm not going to give up. My muscles are working to find that center. I think I got it. I think I almost got it. Hold, hold, hold. Did you get it? Okay, let's rock side to side and tap it out. It's interesting because I would have thought, you know, being on the 2 and 2, that I would have more stability with finding that center, but for whatever reason today, my equilibrium seems to be a little off today. When I woke up this morning, I don't know what it is, but I am feeling just a tad bit lightheaded, so if I need to take more breaks, you'll bear with me, okay? Not sure why. For 4, 3, and 2. Last one. Good, now drop the board. Step behind the 1 and the 1. Bend the knees. Shift side to side. Now this one is, instead of really like a rock side to side, it's more of a shift of the hip, which is great, you know, because it definitely gets more blood circulating into this area, right? But I still am thinking about, now I'm thinking about pressing into the outside of my foot, but I'm dropping my shoulders. Never be like this in a hunched position. You know, I know we're concentrating sometimes, but you just have to learn to drop those shoulders, retract them back. So we're keeping that neutral spine. And now if you're feeling good, let's do it. Let's find that center. You can bend the knees a little bit more. Use your breath. Now, if you're feeling really good and really confident, you can try taking one hand off. And if you're feeling solid there, think about those pressure points in your feet. Pull your abdominals in. I'm going to try it. Other hand. Woohoo! Look at me. I'm doing it. I'm doing it good. And I'm breathing. I really feel all those muscles triggering and firing in my lower body. It's a great feeling, isn't it? Just knowing how strong we're getting. We're building endurance. All that good stuff. Okay, so how did you do? Let's step and tap, step, tap. It's a little step. You could just even bring your knee up. You don't even have to tap your calf if you don't want to. Just release those hip flexors. Or you could tap, whatever you want. It's all good. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Now we are going to go back into that center, pushing those feet into the board. And I'm going to go into my calf raise, lift and down. I'm coming out of frame a little bit, so I'll adjust that in a second. Lift, lift. And now what I want you to think about is adding a toe lift. Lift your toes. Are you limited with that range of motion? I sure am. Lift. That dorsiflexion. Boy, oh boy. Just try to increase some range of motion in those ankles, you know? And this is a little bit more challenging because we are trying to keep that board center, really working those calf muscles. Lift and lift for 4 and 3 and 2. Now we're going to hold it at the top. Hold it. And if you feel good, oh boy, I'm going to try it. I'm pulling my abdominals in like I've never pulled them in before. I don't think I'm going to be able to take the other hand off. I think this is it for me. Maybe I'll try for a second. Drop the heels. Bring the feet a little wider and rock side to side and tap it out. How did you do? Okay, so I want you to get a drink of water when we come off the board, and then I'm going to go into a superset workout. So all that really means is doing 2 exercises back to back and then taking a little break. And our break will either be step touch like this or on the floor. But have your bands attached. For now, we're not going to move the poles. And then we are going to drop that board, step it down, step it down. Now, if you need to put the bands on, I'm going to give you a second to do that. I'm going to get a drink of water because I need it. If you ever want to do something to fill time, if I'm getting water and you want it, just keep marching it out or stepping it out, okay? So the first superset is going to be the one arm row and a biceps curl. So first we're going to stabilize. We're going to go to the side. We're going to drop that board. We're going to step up behind the number 2. Now look down. Both toes are pointing straight ahead. Proper alignment is critical. Okay, then we're going to take that band off and we're going to go into a one arm row. Now, if this is too easy, I like what Kathy says. You can choke up on the band and give yourself more resistance. But you want to keep those shoulders square to the floor. Keep that elbow close to your body and go into that one arm row. So I am going to choke up on it a little bit. And use your breath, but don't let that shoulder come up. Just isolate the right side of your upper back. Do keep your abdominals pulled in tight to protect your back. And I'm keeping both knees bent. Exhale up. How are you doing? Slow and controlled moves. For 4, 3, and 2. Last one, we're going to hold it at the top and release, and we're going to step up. We're going to lock that elbow in, tuck that pelvis under. We're going to go into our biceps. Exhale up. Remember to anchor that elbow. Remember, no flexion, extension in your wrist. Keep that wrist fixed and solid. Just the biceps are lifting. Exhale up. Control it. For 4, 3, 2, hold it at the top. Release it slowly and put it back on the handle. Open it side to side. Let's rock back and forth. And I want you to release the arm. Release, release, release. Just let it go. Give yourself a little break. For 4, 3, and 2. Last one here. Good, and drop the board. Step it together. Step at an angle. Step it back. Look down, make sure both toes are pointing straight ahead. Shoulders stay square to the floor. Unhook. I'm going to choke up on the band. Knees are soft. Here we go. Exhale up. So just think about your body being the actual piece of Nautilus equipment. That's how stable I want you to be. So we're really just focusing on the muscle that we're working, which is the upper back right now. Squeeze at the top. Control it down. Do you feel that? Relax your grip on the pole. Exhaling each time, remember, as you exert your energy. For 4, 3, 2, and last one, we're going to hold it at the top and release. Now we're going to step it up, underhand grip. Now look, tuck that pelvis under, lock that elbow in. Here we go, curl. Put your mind into your biceps. Exhale as you exert that energy. Keep those knees soft. How are you doing? Are you with me? Remember, if you need to take a break, just have a seat on the chair, and you could just do those knee ups, arms up, alternating. You never want to stop moving completely, like suddenly, a dead stop. We don't want that. So you can step down and just step in place and then sit down and just do some waist twists, whatever you feel like doing. Okay, one more time. I might have done more on this side because I'm talking. Hold, release, put that back on. We're gonna rock side to side. I'm behind the 2 and 2 here. How are you doing? Okay, the next superset we're gonna do is we're gonna do an exercise for our quadriceps, and then we're gonna do an exercise for our hamstrings. So first we are gonna do the squat. So find the center balance. Tuck that pelvis under first. Get that center, then push your hips back. Relax the shoulders. Then sit into the squat. Remember, you can do a modifier. You could just do a partial squat like that. But either way, I want you to get those hips way back. If you come into the full squat, especially chest up, use your breath, grip those glutes to get you up. Press, grip, pull it up, squeeze tight, press. Push those feet into the board. Remember those pressure points. Push the feet into the board. You feel that, right? When you really engage and you really think about the glutes. Grip, pull, pull, pull. Tight little squeeze at the top. It's just a little tuck. We're not throwing our back into it. It's just a little tuck of the pelvis. Press and look at my knees. So you are always in proper alignment, remember? Now we are doing our best, right? To keep that board center. And now we are gonna hold it down for 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you wanna try to take the hands off, let's go for it. You don't have to. Just for another few seconds, it's burning. And then bring it up and squeeze the tush. Now we are gonna go right into that leg curl. Step and curl, step and curl. You can go slow or you can speed it up, it's up to you. Keep that core tight for 4 and 3. 2 more, then we're gonna do those repeaters. Now we are gonna hold it to the side. Look, I'm putting both hands on this pole. Lengthen, curl. Lengthen, curl. Now look, my standing leg is bent. Pull your abs in and just focus on those hamstrings. Curl. Exhale up, so you're squeezing into those hamstrings just like you would your biceps. Four more times. 1, 2, 3. Now hold it at the top. Bring your other hand on the other pole, step it down, step and curl, step and curl. How did you do with that? Now, you can do that same exercise off the board if you feel more comfortable doing that, putting your hands on the pole. There's always an option. You just have to ask us, really. That's what we're here for. For 4 and 3, and 2, and 1. Good, now we're gonna step it to the other side. We're gonna go into those repeaters. I'm just turning a little bit so you can see my knee is way behind me. And I'm squeezing into those hamstrings. Exhale up. And then if you feel really good, you don't even have to rest the foot on the board. Abs in tight, use your breath. You're gonna feel this in your standing leg too, but again, think about those pressure points in your feet. For 4, 3, 2, hold it at the top, and step it 2 and 2, rock side to side. How did you do? For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now step it back, and we're just gonna march it out. Get a quick drink of water. And I do want you to replace the short band with a long band. So just unhook this. I think I've gotten a little bit quicker with this, but maybe not. Maybe not. It's all right. No hurry, right? I'm gonna slide this up a little bit. And then we're gonna switch the other one too. Unhook it. So you're taking this loop, feeding it through, then taking the handle, feeding it through the loop, and then you're gonna cinch it up. Yes, make sure it's good and cinched. Okay, next superset we're gonna do is the front raise and the triceps kick back. Okay, so first, what we're gonna do is come up behind 2 and 2, rock side to side. And then we are gonna find that center balance right away. And then you're gonna take it off the hook, and we're just gonna go into a front raise. So if you need to just grab a little lower to get more resistance, it's up to you. This is a very short little move, but I just find the shorter bands don't give me enough range of motion here. So it's just a tight little lift. 4, 3, 2, last one. Good, and now we're gonna step all the way to the back edge of that board. I am gonna sink up on that a little bit. And I'm gonna go into my triceps kickback. Put your hand on the other pole. Keep the elbow close to your body and get a full extension if you can. So my hand is still on the handle. I just also grabbed a little bit below the handle to give myself some more resistance. Exhale at the top. Really thinking about your triceps here. 3, 2, last one. Let's try to hold it at the top and release. Good, now we're gonna go to the other side. First, rock side to side. And we're gonna find that center right away. I'm behind the 2 and the 2. Tuck that pelvis under, drop those shoulders. When you feel confident, remember it's a small move. Slight bend in that elbow. Exhale up. Think about pushing those feet, those pressure points in the feet, pushing your feet into the board. Working those stabilizers, working the front of your shoulder, your anterior deltoid, working that inner focus, trying to keep that board center. I'm bending my knees just a little bit more. 3, 2, hold it at the top. Release. Good. Now we're going to drop that board. Step all the way side to side. Look, I'm just cinching up on it a little bit. Grabbing below the handle. Bring that elbow up, shoulder height. Kick it up. Exhale at the top. My triceps need a lot of work. Gravity has taken over. Exhale up. Squeeze into your triceps at the top. Let's get 4 more. You got it. 1, 2, 3. Last one. Let's hold it at the top for a split second and release. And then step wide, rock side to side. How did you do? Pretty good? Okay, the next superset we're gonna do, get a drink of water if you need one, but the next superset we're gonna do is outer thigh and inner thigh, okay? So first we're gonna do that shift and lift, shift and lift. Remember, you're leading with the heel of the foot. And it doesn't matter how high the leg goes, even if you could just go to here. You're still working your abductor. Keep your knees soft. Lift, lift. Pull your abdominals in here. Keep that straight spine, chest up. And when I come down, I'm really thinking about pushing that foot into the board. I know there's a lot of things to think about, right? But that's what this is all about, the neurological brain connection, firing muscles from head to toe. It's brilliant. Or as Dan might say, it's bloody brilliant. I don't know, is that a saying? I think it is. In England, right? For 4, I'm feeling this. 3, use your breath. 2, are you ready on this last one? We're gonna hold it. Now look, I'm gonna put both hands here and I'm just gonna go into little lifts. Oh boy. Use your breath. You can put both hands like this or here, but keep that standing leg bent. Use your breath. 4, 3, 2, last one, hold up. Release, oh boy. Shift and lift. Whew. Is yours burning as much as mine? It better be. In a good way, I mean, in a good way, in a good way. Are you ready to do that other side? I'm not. Hold it down. Oh boy. There's always got to be another side. Wouldn't it be great if we had like a button we could push and the other side would be automatically worked. Hey Dan, get on that invention, would ya? Remember, if you have to take a break, please do. You know, don't force anything. You're just doing the best you can. 2 more times. Oof. Hold it at the top. And release. Now just side to side. Now, you know, I just want you to know, step and touch. Just because we're talking doesn't mean that we're not feeling it big time, you know? Somebody made a comment, I forget who, like, it looks like you could go forever. And I said to myself, You'll know me by, if I'm smiling a lot, that means it's burning and I'm just smiling through it. For 4 and 3, I'm giving you a break before we hit that inner thigh just because I had to, you know. Okay, now we are gonna keep it wide and we're gonna point those toes out. And then you are gonna try to find that center. Keep the knees bent. Now you can just stay here and breathe into your inner thighs, push your feet into the board, or you could do a partial plie. I'm trying to keep the board center and up, or you could do a full plie, but really proper alignment is crucial here. So if you do the full plie, those knees have to be back and they have to be tracking over your toe line. Proper alignment is key. Look, I'm really struggling to keep that board center. But you know what? I'm trying to challenge myself today. But I am pushing my heels into the board to get myself up and then squeezing tightly into the tush at the top. Press, push, squeeze. Press, push, squeeze. If you feel this in your knees, please just modify it. Or you can go into those inner thigh kicks. I'll show you in a minute if you forgot what those are for future reference. If you don't want to do a plie to target the inner thighs, I'll give you the option, okay? Now we're going to hold it down. Lift your chest, and if you feel steady and stable and you want to try to take one hand off, woo, what about the other? Are you able to do it? Holy moly. Oh my goodness, squeeze up, woo! Toes come forward, step and tap. Wow, how did you do? Really felt that. For 4, work it out. 3, release. 2, and 1. Good, now step it down. Now what I'm gonna do is show you that inner thigh kick. So if you don't wanna do the plies, you can simply, I'll just step behind the side of the board. Angle the knee out to the side and then just kick. So it's a 45-degree angle kick. So you're really focusing on the inner thigh. That's one option. If you don't want to do the plie, another option is just a simple side lunge, but if you have knee issues, this also might be a problem. That's why the inner thigh kick is a great substitute. So put this in your back pocket if you need it in the future. Inner thigh kick. Okay, now we are going to get a drink of water and we're going to cool it down. Cheers. Oh boy. And we are just going to do our nice little easy hamstring curls. Keep that board center. Just a very slow curl and step. Release. And then we're just going to do an easy side step. How do you feel? How did you do? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's do that cat-cow for our back. So we're gonna arch slightly, then round your back. Arch and tuck the chin to chest. Arch, pull your abdominals in tight. Look up and round your back. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And one more time. And then we're gonna hold this. We're gonna walk back. We're gonna go into our low back stretch, hinging from the waist to a flat back position. And just hold and breathe. And then very slowly coming up, walking up, and we're going to go into our hamstring our hamstring stretch. So just place that heel up on that center line with the toe up. Push your hips back. You can place your hand on your thigh or on the other pole. And just come down until you feel a nice stretch in your hamstrings and focus on that breath. So remember, it's a 7-count breath in through your nose, holding the breath for a few beats, exhaling slowly through the mouth for 8 counts, and just surrendering into that stretch. And then slowly bring it up, release, and we're going to switch. Heel down, toe up, push your hips back. Place your hand here if you like. If you're really super flexible, which I'm not, and you want to try to reach for the toe, more power to you. I'm going to hang right here. This is it. Really utilize that breath to fuel this stretch. And then slowly bringing it back up and just kick it out a little bit. Release. Release. And then we're going to go into our quadricep stretch. Use the chair or pole, whatever you like. So bring that knee up, grab your ankle, glue those knees together. Look, they're on the same level. Tuck the pelvis under, press the hips forward. And then hold and breathe. One more slow healing breath here. And then release. Kick it out a little bit. And we're going to do a side stretch before we switch to the other side. So cross the feet and then just stretch it up and over. Really opening that side body. Send the breath the way up into your fingertips. And then release. And we're going to switch to the other side. So bring that knee up, grab your ankle if you can, glue those knees together, press those hips forward. Send that healing light in with that breath. Hold the breath. Exhale slowly through the mouth. Always relaxing your face when you're stretching and releasing your jaw. Letting tension leave your body with that exhale. One more slow healing breath. And then release. Kick it out a little bit. And we're going to go back into that side stretch. Cross the foot over the other. And then just elongate, reach through those fingertips. If you can, get that elbow right next to your ear, really opening that side body. A deep breath. And then release. And we're going to stretch out our shoulder. Bring that arm towards you. And just think about sending that breath into the back of your shoulder, your posterior deltoid. And then release, and you're going to bring that arm behind you. You're going to grab your wrist and just pull it the other way. You're not yanking it. It's just a small little move, and you're going to hold that for a breath. And then release. Just let it go. Let all that stress, all that tension, that tightness, just let it go. We're going to switch to the other side. Take a nice, slow, healing breath. And then release. Put it behind you, grab your wrist. Pull it in the opposite direction slightly, hold, and breathe. And then release, release. And then you're going to go into your calf stretch. You can just use the poles or the chair, but do push that back heel into the floor and breathe into your calf muscles. And then switch. How do your calf muscles feel? Mine are definitely not as tight as they usually are. That's a good thing. I'm able able to go a little deeper into this stretch. How about you? And then release and kick it out a little bit. We're going to go into our bicep stretch. So big outreach with those arms, palms up, and breathe here. And then shake them out. And I'm going to show you this really great drill to release your whole shoulder capsule, so you can use a chair. And you simply just bend over from the waist. You can sit on the chair too and just do pendulum swings, just release. My sister, who's a physical therapist, showed me this, and it just feels so darn good. Just to let it completely go here. You can definitely sit down doing the same thing. And one more. And then switch to the other side. So I'm going to show you sitting down. If you sit, just hinge over and just release that shoulder. Let it go. Use your breath. Two more times. And then what I'm going to do is just simply fold over. I'm just going to, you can grab the poles if you like. And I just want you to release your low backs. And then just slowly put your hands on your thighs and roll it up, and then interlock your fingers behind your head. Press those elbows back, push your head into your hands, hold and breathe. One more healing breath. And then release. And just roll those shoulders up and back. Work it out. Keep that going. I'm going to grab some water and I'm going to come on over to say goodbye, to check in. See how you did. How did you do? Okay. Yes, Craig, squats are great for the thighs, but I want you to make sure when you're doing the squat that you feel it in your glutes. So in other words, I'm just going to show you. Like if you're squatting like this and all the stress is here on your knees, you're going to feel it more here in your thigh, but it's just way too stressful on your knees. So that's why we're always telling you to push your hips back and sit. So you see how the weight is distributed differently? All the weight's back here, so I can actually lift my toes when in proper squat position. So yes, you'll feel it in your thighs, but you really should be feeling it in your glutes. So that's the proper form. You have to shift the weight back and sit, and then bring it up. So give that a try if you're not already doing that. I'm glad you liked the workout, Daresha. I'm glad you liked it too, Molly Ann. Ildi, I'm so glad you liked it. It felt like 10 minutes. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh, you know what, last night, I don't know if this happened to you, Ildi, but my internet, I think it was like 8 o'clock at night, my internet went dead, went out. I think probably the cable wires froze. I don't know. My computer didn't work, my internet on my phone didn't work, I couldn't watch my American Idol, it kept freezing, I was very upset about the situation. But it's all good today. Pat, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. You know, I am just so proud of you guys, you know, because so many people, you know, want to make changes, positive changes in their lives. But, and I'm sure you know several yourself that would rather just complain about it and not do anything about it. And the fact that you're showing up consistently and you're taking control back over your life, addressing any limitations, you know, getting empowered and confident, and building strength and endurance while improving your balance and agility and stability. You know, you're going to be just a great role model. And I'm sure that you're inspiring so many people around you, because that's what I find, you know, I'm just doing my thing, right? Because I enjoy exercising. I feel better when I exercise. I'm, you know, more energetic and productive, and I don't really get sick very often, and all those, I sleep great. And I just think, you know, you set an example sometimes without even knowing it. So I would be curious if you have inspired friends or family, you know, to get moving, to get active themselves. I'm stretching out my hip while I'm sitting here talking to you guys. Well, listen, I can't really see any more comments. My phone is kind of limited with this, but I hope you all did great and you did the best you could, and that's all that counts. And I hope you have a wonderful week. I know you're in for some great classes with Dan, as always, and Kathy, who is amazing and, quite frankly, like my idol, you know. And I'll see you again on Friday, okay? Have a beautiful day, stay warm, and much love to all of you. Bye for now.